reporting from beautiful Weehawken, New Jersey. What a town. What a great town. We're a town of about 13,000 people, and yet tens of thousands of people come to our town every day. In the next few minutes, I'd like to tell you why so many people pass through our town. And maybe, in the process, you're going to learn something about our town and this very special year, 2009. Our biggest group of visitors, commuters. Here's more.
There was one event in our history that changed Weehawken forever. So what was it? Well, it's right down there.
The construction of the Lincoln Tunnel from the 1930s to the 1950s. Tube 1 opened in 1937, Tube 2 in 1945, and Tube 3 in 1957.
Many streets of beautiful homes and nature's green were lost forever. Replaced by steel, cement, and traffic, this designated Weehawken to become what it is today. Passing through point in our small community was chosen by geography to become a crossroad in which millions of people traveling north, south, east, and west.
There's so much to see in this small town. Each year, people arrive on buses by the thousands and usually stop right here. Why? Look at the view of Manhattan. We're not called the Jewel of the Hudson for nothing. These two entertaining siblings grew up in Weehawken as teenagers and went to school here. One of them even became the world's most famous dancer. That's right, Adele and Fred Astaire. If you have an interest in the lives of famous people, plan a visit to Weehawken. Wait until you hear who's visited our town in the past. We're here in downtown. Here's more.
She was a beautiful girl, and in 1841, she lived in a building that used to be right behind me. It was called the Lost Hotel. The beautiful girl's name was Mary Rogers.
Poor Mary. She died a mysterious death on July 15, 1841, a murder mystery that was never solved, but it attracted attention all over the country. Among those that came to Weehawken to try to solve the case was famous American writer and amateur detective Edgar Allan Poe. Although he failed to solve the case, he went one better. Listen to this. He changed the name of Mary Rogers to Mary Roget, gave all the other Weehawken people French names too, changed the Hudson River to the Seine River, and the Weehawken Woods became the Barrier de Roule. Thus was born his famous short story, The Mystery of Marie Roget. Wow, how about that?
How's this for a combination? What did George Clooney, the actor, and Babe Ruth, the baseball great, have in common? Well, both had unpleasant experiences here in Weehawken. In 2007, George Clooney collided with the car on Boulevard East, the street right behind me. He and his girlfriend, riding on his motorcycle, suffered minor injuries. About 80 years earlier, in 1928, one of the most famous baseball players in history got pulled over on the very same street for speeding. Once the police realized who it was, he didn't have to pay a fine. It was Babe Ruth.
Towers have always been a symbol of civil pride, and perhaps one of the most stunning examples in our metropolitan area is the Weehawken Water Tower. Built by the famous architect Frederick Clark Withers, who also built the Eiffel Tower, it stands 170 feet high and 300 feet above sea level. The tower was built for the Hackensack Water Company to provide water for residents in Hoboken, Weehawken, and Union City using gravity. There is a 165-gallon water tank above all the offices. Imagine working underneath all that water. The tower was also used as a navigation aid for ships coming into the New York Harbor. The tower opened on September 23, 1883, and it was a major event. There is only one tower like it anywhere in the world, and it is in Italy. The reservoir that used to be alongside of it is long gone, giving way to Pathmark. But in 1980, the tower was declared a national landmark. It will be a part of Weehawken forever. We do have an old postcard of what it was like. Slowly but surely, the water tower will be restored, and we'll have restaurants and offices inside very soon.
If you're a person who loves history, Weehawken is a place you have to visit. Talk about playing a part in American history. One of the most famous duels ever took place right here. Here's more.
That's right, Kellen. To settle an argument that was going on for years, Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr came to our shores 2 centuries ago to settle their problem. It resulted in the death of Hamilton and Vice President Burr becoming a fugitive. Let's role play a little.
Hello, Mr. Hamilton. So, Alexander, do you remember the day you and Aaron Burr fought?
Yes, I remember it like it was more than 200 years ago.
Oh, wasn't it 200 years ago?
Actually, it was 205 years ago on July 11, 1804.
Isn't it weird you and your son passed away on the same spot?
Yes, what a coincidence, and with the same gun, too.
Here today we have your rival, Mr. Aaron Burr.
Is it true that you were vice president at the time?
That's true, I was, during years 1801 through 1805.
Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Burr.
Goodbye.
Speaking of the monument earlier, did you know it was located on Boulevard East in Weehawken? There, you can see the rock where Alexander's head was laying while he was dying. On the rock is also a bronze statue of Alexander's head.
Well, we're running out of time.
Wait a minute. We haven't even scratched the surface about our town's history.
Well, but we're really running out of time.
You never told him about the famous El Dorado amusement park, one of the most famous in the world back in the 1890s.
Or the famous Weehawken elevators that carried people from the shoreline up 300 feet to the amusement park. You never told them about that.
You never said anything about Charles Dickens and Washington Irving coming to Weehawken to have lunch looking over the Hudson River.
Or how about the other 25 or so duels that took place here in Weehawken, even one including our 5th president, James Monroe?
You didn't say anything about the USS Weehawken, the 3rd ironclad ship that fought in the American Civil War.
And how about this? How many towns that you know of were mentioned in a Dr. Seuss book? Sorry, you guys, but we're still kind of running out of time. I suggest if you want to learn more about Weehawken to go to our website, weehawkentimemachine.com, or go to our town. It's time to say goodbye. Let's go to our favorite spot, Hamilton Avenue near Hamilton Park.
Remember when I introduced this tape and I said 2009 was a very special year? Well, next month on March 15th, it's going to be Weehawken's 150th birthday. Happy birthday, Weehawken! I'll see you when you come to visit us in Weehawken for a very special event.